Good afternoon everybody, and a very warm welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all well, having a good week so far. And we are at Madrid LAMD in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's been a while actually, but we are back in the Aerosoft CRJ1000, the super stretchy version of the aircraft. And for starters, we're going to begin sort of cold and darkish. We've got a bit of power to the aeroplane, some hydraulics. Yep, David. Hello, folks. Welcome. At the moment, I'm in the middle of updating my AIG traffic folder for you guys as well with the latest VMR. We've got a couple of folk down the bottom over there. Osprey. It's John down there as well, I believe. Oh, hello. There's a Binter. Welcome. Yep, it's going to be doing a IFR flight in the Piper Arrow. Nice. Amsterdam to Paderborn. Very good. Slightly different livery to probably what you expected. We were using the new one for the thumbnail, but we've actually not used this older style Iberia regional livery yet, so it looks pretty good in the CRJ. Figured we would give it a go. If you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. Do hit subscribe and do click the like button while you're here as well, and make sure you say hi in the live chat. We've got more BA 146 previews coming soon and a couple of other new aircraft too, and we of course as well need to jump into the A330 at some point, check out the new headwind updates. Flight today is going to take us from LatinVFR's Madrid Airport, beautiful scenery, over the Pyrenees to Toulouse-Blagnac LFBO, created by Flightbeam Studios. Josh, hello to you. John Chu, welcome. Aviator 9088 on our right hand side of the Binter. Nice. You flying along, or are you heading off towards the Canaries? Let's dive in. So all we've done is turn the battery master on, hydraulics all the way forwards towards the nose. We've set some lighting and things, and then we have clicked APU power, given it a few seconds, and then hit basically start. You get the white LED there saying start, and eventually it goes avail, and then we've turned the nav lights on, and we've just set our cabin lighting as required, and we've turned the no smoking seatbelt signs emergency lights onto arm as well, and that is as far as we've got on the overhead. Down below in the center console we have aligned the IRS, and that is it. So we've turned that one onto standby. We can go channel 1, channel 2, Mac trim, engage. Those lights have disappeared off here now. Your damper 1, your damper 2, and they will have disappeared too. Right, let's look at planning our flight. Elliot, welcome. Really good, thank you. How are you? Bets, hi. Brian, good afternoon to you. One of our other channel members, welcome. So... oh, Aviator, yeah, very odd. Not sure. Let's see if we can ramp up the fuel and the cargo and things here. So we've done a SimBrief flight plan. 3,601 kilos of fuel apparently is what we're going to need, including diversion. I'll keep it simple. We'll use 3673. We'll set the payload in the simulator, and then we will head down here to the CDU. So, OS init, LAMD, and we stand 406, I believe. Click across 2 pages to IRS. We'll select that one and we'll paste it into here to tell the aeroplane exactly whereabouts in the world we are on the flight plan. We're going to be going from Lima Echo Mike Delta to Lima Foxtrot Bravo Oscar, and our alternate airport today is Barcelona LEBL. So click next page. We're going to be going to Pina first, which is our transition onto the uniform November 870 airway as we make our way up. So UN 870 to Segri. So you can of course import these routes from SimBrief, but a lot of the CRJ routes that you will fly are so short. You don't need to, and you get a bit more immersion, a bit more enjoyment out of adding all of these in yourself. Top 2. And it's part of learning the aeroplane as well. And that's it. That's literally our route for today up to Toulouse. So exec, add our flight number. We are Air Nostrum 14 Delta Zulu. For our call sign today. And we want to then click across to perf init. So cruise altitude, flight level 280, I think. Yep, flight level 280. I've checked this against the real world route as well, and that is the case. And then to do the rest of it, we want to flick across back to the EFB. We've got everything set. We've set the payload in the simulator. We just hit copy perf init data to FMS. And at this point, what I want to do is set the takeoff trim. It's showing we need 7.1, so in that instance, we'll flick across and using my trim wheel, we'll set 7.1. QNH1010, seems I'm looking at the standby instrument. Let's set that, and we'll make sure it matches here, 1010. And then we can look back down here. Alternate cruise, let's do flight level 260 as an alternate. And then we'll just hit exec as we go along. ISA deviation is -2 today. And you can add all the winds and things if you wish to. And you can add an ETD2 as well if you want to. So, active VNAV climb, transitions. Transition altitude is 13,000 according to the charts. And then if we look into Toulouse, airport elevation is 500 feet. And the departure transition is 5,000, so I'm going to put 6,000 in. Jolly good. Orun saying, hey, if you want, we can do a parallel takeoff. If we're going to the same place, that might get a bit tricky, but we could give it a go. Right, so that's done, that's done, that's done. VNAV set up, that's all completed. We now need to add in our departures. So we're going to depart runway 14 left. Reese, well, hopefully my name's in the hat to get some early access potentially, so who knows, fingers tightly crossed. Yep, the flight time today is about, well, air time, it's about 50 minutes, which is why we're taking it slow, getting everything set up with you guys live today now. Bob, good morning to you. John, welcome. And Delta Tango, hello, welcome. Delta He's also asking, where would you find the ISA deviation? It's a great question, actually. So, on your SimBrief flight plan, you can scroll down, basically the very beginning where it says OFP at the top, and it gives you your call sign and the date. You'll see on the right-hand side the cost index, ground distance, air distance, and that sort of thing. And within that, it will say average ISA, which is the average ISA deviation. It will say, today it says M002, which is -2. Right, so we want runway 14 left. Select that, and then we can scroll down to Pina 2 uniform, there we go, that's the one we want, lovely. Execute, easy. Radio page, let's click across to the page 2, and we'll add our flight number in again, 14 Delta Zulu. And on the charts, I'll show you guys on Navigraph. So we're going to depart runway 14 left, which is just there. Mike Delta 050. 117 degrees to Mike Delta 051, max 220 knots. Then a left turn heading or tracking up north 009 degrees as we climb up, max 240 knots for the next constraint up to the Robledillo VOR 113905. So if we wanted to, we could tune that in here. I'll leave it on auto though for the sake of it today. And then we're going outbound towards Pina. 13,000 feet at or above by Pina. But of course, beyond Mike Delta 826, we'll be able to then accelerate onwards above 250 knots. There's Pina. So from there, we're going to have one waypoint, Segri, and then we're heading on the Uniform November 871 all the way up towards Top 2. There we go. We'll have passed over the Pyrenees. And then we're going to be well into our descent into Toulouse, and we're going to go and check out the Flightbeam Studios. Fantastic Toulouse scenery. Star-wise, we are looking at, where's my sim brief routes? Topped 6 Sierra arrival, which is going to be that one. There we go. So descent begins over the Pyrenees, and then we're going to be heading in. It's going to get quite tight, I think, heading in from this direction. There's an NDB, there's a Toulouse VOR, and we're going to expect runway 14 right, I think, from memory. So we'll do an ILS. And there's a whole load of stuff about conventional approaches and things too, if we need to think about that. But most likely, we will fly the Star, and then we'll vector ourselves on to intercept the ILS into Toulouse. And there's a VOR, but also an ILS frequency, which we'll sort out nearer the time too. First time flying the CRJ for quite a while, so very exciting. Doctor on board, welcome. Steve, did I hear right? You're releasing another AIG install video. Not quite. So basically, I'm updating a lot of the new liveries. 66 new airlines that I'm actually downloading at the moment. So, Ollie, good afternoon. When it's asking for ISA deviation, you can just put it in. The wind calculations and things, kind of a different setup, I suppose. Not too sure, to be honest. In the CRJ, I've only ever used the ISA deviation. If I wanted to, where's it gone? Is it in perf? Perf in it, maybe? There we go. So what you can do is you can find your average winds for climb, cruise and descent, and you can add those into here as well, and it will just help the aeroplane sort of work out timings and things. Wouldn't worry about it too much. That's all set, that's all set. We want to make sure this is on VNAV. And our perf page, flex, I always like 46, thanks to the dude from Aerosoft. Okay, now back over here, we want to have a look at our takeoff speed. So flaps 8, dry runway, and we'll just settle like so. On our PFD then, it's selected 161, which is our V2 plus 10 speed. Lovely, so that's our speed bug. And on my Vizix Autopilot Controller, which we're using as well today, that's instantly selected 161 by doing that too. We can flick that collar across and we can select V speed, so V1 143 now appears in the box. And we've set our QNH, so all of that is ready, and we're going to bring the range in a little bit, so for our departure we can actually see what we're doing, those crucial first few stages. Flight director can go on as well, I suppose. Okay, so let's start her up. Set 200122.8, we haven't got any ATC, that's all good. And what have we got here? So it's windshield heat, spoiler-ons, fuel pressures, brake pressures, recirc fans are off, bleeds closed. So aircraft, passenger door closed.
Captain, the cabin is secure. All passengers are aboard.
Ben Foster, good afternoon.
Madrid traffic.
Let's get rid of that. Okay, so we need the boost pumps on, crossover override, continuous ignition. Jeff? No, yeah, sadly not. This is a real world route, you'll be pleased to know.
Traffic off by 27.
Ollie, indeed, yeah. I did a video on it the other day.
555. 555 for you.
So hopefully you saw that, covering the new headwind update, including custom views and things. Let's add fuel in. Arthian, is this worth buying at $19.99? Is that the Madrid airport scenery you're asking about? You know what, I did forget beacon. I was looking at the overhead panel thinking, there's something up there that I've missed. So the only thing today is we're going to have to taxi forwards. So we're going to have to drive over the tug, which is really annoying. Let's go left engine start. Oh, Arpian, the aircraft, the Aerosoft CRJ, it's still my strong favourite aircraft inside Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's great fun, it's immersive, it's complex, it requires you to think a lot further ahead than, say, for example, the A320, which is a very simple aircraft by comparison. Yeah, I absolutely love it. I find it very rewarding to sort of fly, and you can get some beautiful custom views as well, wing views and things like this. Oh, hey there. Look at that. We've got another Air Nostrum. The little ding would suggest to me that the engines are fired up. Okie dokie, right. Where's my flood? So I've got my lighting set. Let's get some of this on as well. So let's hide that. We want integrated lighting on this side. Turn the
Traffic Osprey 490 taxi.
floor lights on too.
Left, holding point,
Right, taxi then.
Sierra
It's a huge taxi routing.
Madrid traffic.
I need to find the taxi charts for Madrid. Airport briefing, works on taxiways, works for new taxiway Quebec. Hotspots, taxi routings. So we're going to be going Whiskey November 2. TR, hello, welcome. Whiskey, pen stopped working because I'm using it so much. Whiskey November 2. Whiskey November 3. Whiskey 4, X-ray 5, down to Sierra 3. Good grief, what a route. Yeah, Sierra 3. And then I'm going to call that Alpha, because that's a huge route. And then we're going to go Alpha 28, oh my god, Alpha 28, Kilo Bravo 2, and then Kilo 2, Old Point runway 14 left. Holy moly, and the rain started. I don't know where you live, no. Let's spiel this. Ollie. Right, here we go. Madrid traffic, Air Nostrum 14 Delta Zulu, CRJ1000, taxi to hold point, Kilo 3, correction, Kilo 2, runway 14 left via Whiskey November 2, Whiskey November 3, Whiskey 4, X-Ray 5, Sierra 3, Alpha, Alpha 28, Kilo Bravo 2. Madrid traffic.
Well, that's a mouthful.
Just a bit. Let's set some flaps.
7 Juliet Mike, we'll follow the right, Nostrum to holding point, Kilo 2, 14 left.
We're going to swivel across this way because I'll lose my mind for running them over. And we need to make sure nose wheel steering is armed. I'm going to do some quick control checks.
Madrid traffic, gravity 9960, we'll just follow along the other two CRJs.
There we go, there we go. That's all of them working properly anyway. Taxi lights, let's get the APU off. Big old taxi today. And we've got the Iberia Express safety demonstration thanks to the Luke Air tool. It's freeware on flightsim.to. And the central landing light will go on as well thanks to a great tip from a real-world pilot. Probes left and right, windshield heats, and the recirc fan is on. We check our crew alerting system. Takeoff config OK, seatbelts, continuous ignition, manual crossflow, recirc fan is on.
Seatbelts must be fastened whenever the seatbelt sign is on. Seatbelts are fastened and unfastened as we are showing you now.
143 degrees for our takeoff config, or our departure routing 143. So I'm going to change that with the autopilot controller I've now got.
Should an emergency evacuation become necessary, floor level lighting will illuminate and direct you to the exit. Should this occur, please leave all hand luggage on board. Observen que en este avión hay 8 salidas de emergencia. 2 puertas en la parte delantera de la cabina, 2 puertas en la parte posterior y 4 ventanas de emergencia sobre la sala.
Jay, just a bit. The British Nav Geek, hello. 2.0, welcome.
On this aircraft, there are 8 emergency exits. 2 doors at the front of the cabin, 2 doors at the rear, and 4 emergency
Right, this is
windows over the wings.
where I end up getting lost in Madrid. So we're going to have to use some of these signs. Whiskey November 3. It was left onto Whiskey 4. There's a CJ4. Well, 2 hours later, 66 aircraft and 66 new airlines have just been downloaded by AIG's installer, and I will then start working post-stream today. I'll start working at adding them into the VMRs, and I'll update them on flightsim.to. So this is LatinVFR's Madrid Barajas scenery, but it also includes lots of key things around the city, which is really nice. It's a beautiful bit of scenery work. In a couple of days we're going to be flying into, or out of, Wellington, the new Flightbeam Wellington scenery. Potentially as a bit of an early pre-release preview. And we'll most likely do a little return to Auckland and back.
If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you for your attention and enjoy the flight.
Jeez, look at some of these cloud formations up there. Huge. Fantastic little livery though, look at that. So we're going all the way down to Sierra 3. Just going to be a bit on the brakes because we are rolling quite quickly. And it will give me chance then to zip around. I feel like that's Romeo 3. I hope that's Romeo 3. Yep. Good old textures. Steve's asking what's the size of my AIG traffic folder. Very big, I'm not sure.
Vaya Alfa, Madrid Barajas.
Not entirely sure of the exact size. I know it's big. Alberto, good morning. Probably as big as this scenery. This was updated actually yesterday, I believe. An update was pushed for the Madrid scenery. It was about 1.4 gigabytes of an update.
Iberia Express published ILS runway 32 left.
Twenty-one gig for you, boarding time. Wow. Justin, good afternoon. Welcome on board. Thanks for joining us. Might as well stick the logo light on as well. Why not? There's a Turkish cargo 777.
Madrid traffic, Osprey 490, lining up 14 left for departure.
Wow, he got there quick. Jacob, you need to go to the OCI, the AIG installer. You click on the top, you click online, and then you'll see a tab that says installed, and then you'll see a tab that says not installed. What you want to do is you want to click the not installed bit, and you want to work through any of the mainstream airlines that you recognise the name of. And then you also want to verify files and things too. I've done a video on it. Though they have changed it a few times. Neil, wow, got all the AIG there is, and it's 39 gigabytes. That's huge. Ollie's asking, do you prefer this to the default handcrafted Asobo Madrid? He hasn't purchased this one because they're quite similar. Yeah, there's a lot more to this. You get some nice things in Madrid City as well added in too. But I find this is a lot crisper. Textures are wonderful. And there's a lot going on. They do need to update it soon to take back some of those A380s. Most of those have returned back to London Heathrow now. Been on the brakes, slow us down a tad. Sierra 3 all the way to the bottom. I think we're following Turkish now. Lima Delta on the tabs there. Okay, so that means we're Alpha 19. Mike Echo 2. Lima Echo. So I'm following the charts, I'm ticking off, each time we pass one of those textures, I'm ticking off where we're at roughly. Justin's asking, do I get the CRJ? Looks a little advanced, is it worth it? So it's a lot more advanced than an Airbus A320, that's very automated, it requires a lot, very little thought in comparison. This, I find we were talking about it at the very beginning of the stream, I find it very rewarding to fly, and it was really rewarding to try and learn the aircraft as well. There goes David in the Osprey A320. We'll see if he pops up over here in a second. I love it. It's still my favourite aircraft inside Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I can highly recommend getting the CRJ full pack. So you get the 550, the 700, the 900 and the 1000 all in one big bundle together. And if you want to learn the Aerosoft CRJ, check out my CRJ tutorials on the channel, the playlist for it, and I've got 3 episodes that will take you through cold and dark, all the way through to an ILS touchdown and shutdown in Rotterdam. So there's a little flight from Birmingham to Rotterdam which you can follow through and copy too. And it contains loads of tips and tricks. We'll go through some of them today as well. Thrust reversers, left right arms. And flaps 8, stab trim set. And we got 3 green. Right reverser arm, left reverser arm, takeoff config is okay. We've got our runway heading set, and we've got our initial climb. We're going to go to 14,000 initially. Delta Tango agreeing as well. He's got the full bundle. It's a cracking aircraft. It is. So, you've got all these checklists too that you can work through. Just mastered Concorde, so how hard can it be? Arthian, is it updated often? The CRJ hasn't been updated for a little while, but it works incredibly well. You can download a Simbury flight plan, but as we were saying at the beginning today, you very rarely need to. Lovely, yeah, we are going this one. You very rarely need to because your routes are quite small. There's a freeze. Interesting. Now it's gone. Boarding time, you're most welcome. Thank you very much for your kind words. You're my favourite MSFS streamer and content creator. So thankful for all you've done. Yeah, it's really nice to hear. Thank you. Great to have you on board with us. Alpha 27. Lovely. So we know where we are now. We're almost at the whole point. The Turkish cargo will probably have to depart first. And we're basically following the same routing that he's sort of following as well. To the runway.
Madrid traffic, Turkish 52 Yankee Juliet, line up and wait. Runway 14 left, Madrid traffic.
I mean, I've still not got... I've got 627 airlines still shown as not installed with AIG. But I've downloaded about what feels like a million anyway.
Actually, winds are for landing 32 right or 32 left. The weather is for north configuration. You have to departure from the runway 36.
AC2. We want Kilo Bravo 2, which is the next one. We got interesting. We got some Iberia aircraft on finals 3-2 left. Sam, looking forward to more denim content. Most relaxed and competent circuits from a student. Thank you very much. Round we go towards the runway. So Kilo Bravo 2, and then it's... Ooh, this is where I get lost. So it's going to be a branch left here towards Kilo Bravo to Kilo 2. Heyo, good morning over in Brazil. Welcome. There we go, Kilo 2, lovely stuff. Madrid traffic, Air Nostrum 14 Delta Zulu is lining up runway 14 left via Kilo 2. Jay's in the MD-80, fantastic. Have they fixed that yet? Because I know a lot of people saying it's very broken at the moment. Let's turn all of those on. Hydraulics all set. We've closed the APU. Manual cross-flow override is on. Continuous ignition remains on. And everything else is set. We've got the heat probes. Aiden, welcome. Yeah, we're all still waiting for FSLTL, aren't we? They've had a couple of really golden opportunities to release something. Wow, they've got wing bar lights. And they got wigwags. That must be from the new update. Shame they don't update to show green though when you're lining up. Looks like we're departing with a bit of a tailwind now. Winds are 120 degrees at 3 knots, 040 variable 170 degrees. For the Metara to Madrid, a few clouds at 3,000 feet, scattered at 5,000 feet, broken 7,000 feet, temperatures 14 degrees, dew point plus 7 degrees, and the QNH 1010 for our departure. Akazato, hello! And Christopher, yes, that's the last step. Well remembered. Transponder on. Okie dokie. So, what are we doing? In our 2 uniform, I need to make sure I've got the charts. We'll give him, by that point, we'll have given that Turkish a couple of minutes to get airborne, though he is going to be a bit quicker than us. There's a TCAS alert for that aircraft that's flying in. Right, Toga. Madrid traffic, Air Nostrum 14 Delta Zulu, departing, taking off runway 14 left, Pinart to departure, Madrid traffic. Oh Sam, I would absolutely love to, but it's just too expensive for me. Toga. That's thrust set. Speed's alive. $80 knots. Into the rain. B1. Rotate. B2. And positive rate, gear up. Let's try and fly towards the flight director, so we're on bars. There we go. Oops. And we're going to make sure we trim accordingly here as well. So that I can release the pressure on the elevator. There we go, we're trimmed for the climb. Lovely stuff. Bring that range in, that's at that minimum. And now we can go speed, nav, autopilot engage. Madrid traffic, Air Nostrum 14 Delta Zulu, airborne, passing 3,700 feet. Climb. Let's bring our speed up. Max 210 knots. Let's accelerate to that then. Using the Vizix Autopilot Controller for this as well. If you've not seen that video, do check it out. It's awesome. And we're going to accelerate towards T. Ooh, hello. Turns out I've got a keybind there. Interesting. So number 1 on my keypad, on my numpad, disarms autopilot apparently. Oh yeah, yay. That's a panicky noise when you're on the climb out. Okay, there's T. Bring flaps to 1 and 0. Away we go. Am I thinking about using the Tobii eye tracker? I have it, and it makes taxiing so much easier. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Christopher, yeah. So, I mean, it's a problem with most aircraft inside MSFS, to be honest. DC Designs Concorde has it as well. The way the sim is sort of created seems to be that it's the rain that's falling on the inside pane of glass, which is a bit weird. I'm going to keep climbing up, I think. Let's go up to 28. Let's just set 28. Happy days.
Madrid traffic Osprey 27 Juliet Mike, lining up runway 14 left.
And we're on a left turn. Looks like we're sort of at the tops of the clouds now. Wow, David. Winds 130 at 25 knots, gusting 36 knots at Toulouse. This is going to be good, isn't it? We're in for a heck of a treat, one heck of a treat. Bring the speed up to 220. Back now, we're past that waypoint, we can go to 240. We're over 10,000. 1, 2, 3. Continuous ignition off. Manual crossflow override needs to go off as well after takeoff checks. And recognition lights off. Logo lights can go off too, I guess. 409 feet, so let's set our cabin pressure. I think it's probably 0 at the moment, it is. So up here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And one more from 480 to 500, because I think it was 499, wasn't it, from memory? The announcements are from the Luke Air tool. Bit of freeware for you. Old school livery looks fantastic, doesn't it?
The catalog can be found in the seat pocket in front of you. During the month of June, Iberia Express members will double the mountain payments for purchases above 80 euros including alcohol and tobacco.
Let's set speed 290. Elliot, no, you can't. Let's just check our legs a second, because I want to make sure we've got no discontinuities. That's all good, and we need to go standard pressure now. We've passed transition, so click in the middle, and same with the standby instrument, click standard. Right, so winds were in Toulouse, 130 let's see, Madrid LFBO. So winds are 130 degrees, 25 knots, gusting 36 knots. That must be on the sort of limits of the aircraft, surely. All the nines, so 10 kilometers or more visibility, few clouds, 3,100 feet, broken 12,000 feet, good grief. Temperatures plus 16 degrees, dew point plus 9 degrees, QNH 1010. And we're going to be doing the top 26 Sierra arrival into runway 15 right, I think. So we'll go arrivals, click it again, LFBO, ILS 14 right. And we're going to come in via Suras with vectors. Top 6 Sierra, isn't it? Top 26 Sierra, there we go. Sura 1, Sura 2. I'll click Sura 2. Interesting. I'm going to flick around on some of these. Alternates, Sulit, alternate, flights from airspace, flights, 2 for flights from upper airspace, top 2. We'll click that one. Just see what that looks like. So top 2, let's delete that discontinuity. We'll delete that secondary waypoint there, which is a copy. And then we're going to check, make sure we go top 2 to Lalgo, that's correct. Lalgo to Bogro, that's correct, with constraints of flight level 190 to 150. That's correct. And then inbound to Ogril. Ogril to Sulit, Sulit to Mut, which is an NDB. And then inbound Suras. And then we've got Bravo 0507. And then ILS 014 right. Yeah, lovely stuff. Then a missed approach data too. What we want to do is a fixed ring. So we'll do TOU around the TOU VOR. And we'll do 10. We could probably bring that range right out now as well, like so. We'll put radar on. Make sure we've recentered the heading bug as we make our way around. And then we want, that's 5 miles. So we'll do another one at TOU. And we'll do 5 miles. Whatever works for you guys when you're setting these up as well. Oh, Sam, good stuff. We've got loads of space for that, for it then. Here we go. So we've added in our top 26 Sierra arrival, like so. Ogril, Ogril, Ogro, Ogril, Sulit, Mutz, flight level 80, Suras, descent to 5. Expect flight level 80 for Suras, although that doesn't make too much sense. So we'll ignore that one. So Suras, flight level 80, and then we need to be 3000 by 10.9 DME for the glide slope. So we're about 5000 at Suras before we then vector round for the final approach. 11B. Yeah, so initial RNAV approach, like so. Suras, BO507, IO14 right, which is what we've got selected. So that's what it's going to kind of look like. We're going to replicate that. So Suras 004 degrees for 7.7 miles, then right 072 degrees for 5 miles, and then we're going to snap across towards the ILS. We'll fly the ILS. We will prepare as well by selecting the airport information charts and the parking stands too. And we can monitor our progress as we go. There's the seat chord, or the seat chime, telling us that we are at our cruising altitude now. Brought the throttle back ever so slightly now towards the managed gates, or the manual sort of thrust control. We'll recenter our heading bug once more. Definitely a lot darker in the flight deck than I remember. Dan, hello, welcome. Yeah, the prices have annoyingly have gone up. I might be changing that one to see if I can bring it down any more. Printful, who create those Osprey merch on Etsy, have increased the price from the 1st of May, I think it is. So they've sort of automatically started moving the prices up. But I'll see what I can do. Sure, it's 33 quid. I think it was 33 quid. We'll bring our throttle down. We could probably just do 300 knots. Because it was £25. It should be £26.50, I'd have thought, from what the email suggested. Again, I'm going to have to look into that, I think. Sounds like something might not be right with it. Ollie, do you have to set the landing elevation, or do you do that later? So I've done it now just to sort of save a task. One less thing to sort of worry about and do later on when it will get busy. You've got to think as far ahead as you possibly can in this aeroplane to sort of prepare for everything. And that's what's helped. That basically helps you get through the flight. We need to disarm the thrust reversers after takeoff too. Forgot that. These are the little things that you sort of work through usually without too much afterthought. But if you've not flown the aircraft for a little while, you do forget these things. Oh, look at that for a screenshot. Yoink. £33. What on earth? Right, yeah, I'll have to have a look at that because I've definitely not set 33 quid for that. Jacob, no worries. What is the function to pull it out? Alt tab. What do you mean? Oh, Oh, the screens. I'm not sure actually. I never really use those functions. To set landing elevation, you just, well, I mean, we did it a few minutes ago, so I don't know if you might have missed it. You need to just twiddle the dial there. It goes up in increments of 20. Or I think, is it shift? You press and hold shift. There it is. Landing elevation of 500 set. Yeah, Dan, I've definitely not set that, so I don't really know what the crack is with that. I'll have to have a little look. Keep smashing the like button while you're here, folks. Elliot's just watched a Luke Air tutorial. Thanks for making it so I can see what it does. Yeah, great. Great to hear. Been a while since that I created that initial video, but the Luke Air tool itself hasn't changed too much. We've got our thrust set now, and I've just set 82.7% M1 on both engines using my throttle. Because don't forget, this doesn't have an auto throttle, folks, if you are thinking about the CRJ for the first time, having seen it for the first time. But you can set certain N2 values and things to try and pretty much set your speed nicely without you having to fight the throttle and chase the speed all the time throughout the flight. That's weird. Yeah, apparently the notepad should be £27.50 exactly, with free delivery. So I don't really know what has happened. John's FMC is frozen. Oh, you haven't been smashing away too much with it, have you? Try clicking exec twice. Randolph, good afternoon. Radio MFD data. What else do we need to do here? We need to manage our speed, so we'll just keep an eye on that and check that regularly because it will run away with us otherwise. There's top 2 already. Wow, okay. So that's 80, 100, about 120, 110 miles there. Sean, speaking of apps, have you ever tried Flightsim First Officer Next? No, I haven't actually. I've heard about it. Heard some good things about it, but I've never tried it myself. Where's my charts? Top 26 Sierra. We need to see. We've got the constraints and things selected. So Lalgo at or above flight level 200. That's fine. I can't see any top of descent ball though until further up, which is a bit strange. So. I'd thought top of descent would be pretty much just before Lalgo, so I'm going to call it in about 120 miles perhaps. Ooh, I think my new aviation headset's being delivered in the next couple of days. Oh, it is fantastic. I've decided to take some of my savings and purchase the Bose A20 headset for my flying, because my Sennheiser HME 110 headset that I've been using, you might have seen it in some of my real flying videos. It's a passive noise cancelling headset, which is not fantastic. This is the first time flying around this region, having had the Iberian update. It doesn't look mind-blowing, does it? Pyrenees should be visible soon. Unless that's them there. Yikes. Actually, we're probably, yeah, we're a bit too soon for that. So if I show you the world map on Navigraph, there's our position at the moment. We're west of Zaragoza. But the mountains only really start at Ronnie. Ronnie, top two, kind of that band of the Pyrenees. And you can see it with the green there. Getting a bit of turbulence on the screen. Our speed's set at 300 quite nicely. And we've got a, wow, 63 knot, or 60 knot tailwind pushing us along as we're making our way today. Yep, it's just crossed in towards 20 minutes to Paderborn. Very nice. ILS frequency, I'll make a note of it now because I'll forget. It's 1107. We'll need to make sure that's manually set. 11070. TBS for the 3-letter identifier. And the course is 142. John, help. What's happening? Are you just hand flying things, or is it completely all sort of froze up, or are you using this? It all just froze up. Daddy Ted, welcome on board. Thanks for subscribing. Adip as well, a little earlier on too. Welcome on board to you too. Not quite sure why the alerts haven't popped up today though. Oh, they are. I can see them on my other screen. Recirc fan off. Pretty sure I had that on. Whoa. As everybody's now unconscious in the back. Dome lights. I've turned them on, but it's so dim. That doesn't help. Oh, John, you've got the WASM module crash then. You'll probably need to disable autopilot and hand fly the aircraft. Like we did, when was it? Ages and ages and ages ago. I think we departed, was it New Orleans or something like that? We were supposed to fly to Chicago, and when I was putting in the arrival data, it all just crashed off on me. If you put the arrival, like the stars and the runways for the arrivals in sort of in an order that the CRJ doesn't like, or the sim doesn't like, I should probably say, that it will crash the WASM module. So the only way that we got out of that when that happened to me was we hit active pause. We went into dev mode, we then resynced the files so that it reloaded the aircraft in flight. We left active pause on, or we reactivated
Love
active
the
pause.
content and the humour.
So that we then got all the engines and everything set up again and all working again. Ollie, thank you very much. Really generous of you. Cheers for supporting the stream. We're almost at top of descent. We should potentially see at some point soon the Pyrenees, hopefully, if all goes well. Stubackers, 4 hours into a 10-hour flight from Amsterdam to Cape Town. Wow, going for the long haul. MSFS scenery over the Sahara looks amazing at flight level 350. Ollie, that's absolutely fine. I appreciate it. Appreciate you just watching, being a subscriber. I mean, that is a horrendous looking weather system that we are heading towards. In fact, if I show you Volanta, actually, that displays it a bit better in absence of any weather radar in these aeroplanes. There we go. So there's a lot of pink, there's a lot of purple. We're going to be skirting through the blue. In fact, between two cells of cumulonimbus by the looks of it there. So we'll be cutting in between two potential thunderstorms and some severe icing risk. And there's top 2 before we head in. And there is a cell just to the north of Toulouse as well, which is going to be interesting. I mean, that's huge actually. That stretches all the way up. Wow. To the English Channel. That looks gnarly over there. There's Fets. Yuanka. A&E 44. I wonder if that's John. Well, actually, that could be John up here. There we go. Yeah, there's John. Osprey 27 Juliet Mike. He's stuck in WASM crash mode. So he's over by... Oh, got anyone that we recognise here? Trevino, Santuato, what have we got here? Yeah, near Borjos. He's basically heading up towards Bilbao. John, how do you reload the WASM again? So you need to go to the dev mode. So press escape, go to the menu, options, settings, and then you go to dev mode, turn dev mode on, and I think you need to create a new project. I can't remember the exact steps. Check our speed. You need to basically go to create a new project, and then within the top bar, once you've created a new project, you can call it anything you like, there will be a button that says resync. You click that and it should reload all the files in the sim. I think that should potentially solve it. You come out of it, there's our fix rings. Looks like we don't have any top of descent today, which is interesting. But hey ho, we kind of roughly know when we need to descend. And from here we should be over the Pyrenees. Let's see if we can see mountain. No, this is the worst weather I've seen in a while. Nah, no problem at all. Thanks for trying. Basically we're trying to spot the horrendous cloud. Once you've resynced your folders, Ian, you'll come out of the menu and basically you'll be crashing, well, you'll be flying, well, gliding actually with no engine. There's the peak of the mountain, so we can see some of it down below. Brian, I think, yeah, it needs an element of sync connect. So what we're going to want to descend down to here, this is tricky because we're going to be descending within the mountains as well, so we need to make sure that we are, we've got 10,690, okay, that's fine. But at top 2 there's 120.8 nautical miles to the threshold apparently. I reckon Lalago is going to be good for our top of descent, I think. Great livery, isn't it? It's on flightsim.to. There's some mountains and a rainbow. Wow, look at that. George, hello, welcome. I have a question for the discussion. If you plan to do a return trip, how do you calculate the fuel for both legs? So I just refuel when I land. Does look very nice. Were the Pyrenees improved in the world update? I'm not sure. Make sure we've got our heading bug resynced. We check our speed. It's bang on still. We've not had to change the setting for the throttles once. We like a bit of turbulence. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll either refuel inside the EFB here, George, for the return, or if I want to, as another option for you guys is to, there it is, go to the fuel panel at the back of the aircraft's cockpit, and you can refuel through here effectively. A couple of great options. We're going to want top 2 Lalgos at or above flight level 200, which is fine. Probably won't descend until Lalgo, because the charts show that that is, well, very quickly after Lalgo, within a couple of miles, it's going to be the end of the mountains. Yeah, there's another alternate from Neil in the chat, George. You can add both flight plans, trip, fuel legs together, and then add the longest alternate fuel as well, and then round up. Look at that, rainbow. I'll stick these on Volanta, of course. Wowzers, getting chucked about left, right and centre. Oh, there's our top of descent marker now, just before Lalgo. Happy days, that's perfect. So we'll fly up towards Lalgo, and then we're going to set 150, 21, 6, 7, flight level 80 by Mut. There goes our fuel, or our speed, sorry, getting chucked about. Mikael, welcome. Hello. Just welcome. Ollie, can you give me the link to the A330-900 cam settings? I'll have to finish them off on my side here, and I'll try and get them on before my night shift later on tonight. I need to update the VMR as well, but Ollie, after the stream today, after we get to Toulouse, do ping me on inside our Discord server. Just give me a little ping to remind me. 10 miles to top of descent now, folks, and then I'll try and get that sorted as well, if that helps. Look at that, beautiful. Love flying over mountains in real life. Equally just as nice inside Microsoft Flight Simulator. George, yeah, tankering, isn't it? I think it's called, where airlines will select or overfuel at a particular airfield that they know is basically cheaper than wherever they're flying. What do we want? We're going to set flight level 150 initially, I think, or we'll do 160 actually. Set 160. For those of you who are using my AIG VMR, it's potentially, well, it's a major update coming today if I can get it working properly. It's taken weeks to get it all sorted. But there's 66 new airlines that are going to be included, including Malaysia, Turkish Cargo, and a number of other airlines that haven't already been properly implemented before until this update will be released within my VMR file, so huge. Oh, John. Sorry to hear. Not quite sure what happened. Top of descent. Ooh, hello. What's just froze? Ah, it's going to be Volantis state saving, isn't it? Click the button. $2,400 it wants, so let's go to that. $2,400, probably $2,500. Down we go. Seatbelt signs will come on early.
Señores pasajeros, en unos minutos llegaremos a nuestro destino. Por favor, comprueben que su equipaje de mano está correctamente estirado, su cinturón de seguridad está abrochado, los reposabrazos bajados y su mesa plegada. Le recordamos que en el bolsillo delantero de sus asientos se encuentran las instrucciones de seguridad.
Yeah, Ollie, absolutely.
Leerlas atentamente. En caso de tener que realizar una evacuación, deben abandonar
Doesn't usually do it that much.
su equipaje de mano a bordo. Les agradecemos que hayan elegido volar con Iberia Express.
Jay, great to hear.
Ha sido un placer tenerlos a bordo y esperamos verles de nuevo pronto. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be arriving at our destination in a few minutes. Please check that your seatbelt is fastened, your hand luggage is properly stowed, your electronic devices are unplugged, the armrests are lowered, and your table is folded away. You will find the safety information.
Zabale, welcome on board.
In the seat pocket in front of you. We strongly suggest you read it before landing. In case of an evacuation, leave the aircraft without any.
Thanks for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed today's stream.
We thank you for choosing to fly with Iberia
Keep smashing that like button, folks, as well, while you're here.
And we hope to see you again soon.
Ollie, that's a great thing. Hopefully that stays that way. Oh, Neil, I did not know that. That's madness. New Bricks asking, what do you think is the best long-haul aircraft currently available inside Microsoft Flight Simulator now the A330 has been updated by the Headwind team and the 747 has been hard forked? You know what? Of course, there's the A330 by Headwind, freeware, native aircraft. You've got the, for those of you with Premium Deluxe, Heavy Division 787, which is really good, and then the Salty Simulations 747, which has now been hard forked, as New Bricks just mentioned. Probably come off that rate of descent somewhat here. Yeah, very exciting. I'd probably say the Salty Simulations 747 is the best at the moment, if I'm honest. We need to fly that again. It's been a while since we've been in that. Not that I'm any good at flying a 747, but I could give it a good shot. Alberto, exciting. To 15,000 subscribers. Wow. Let's hope we can get there soon. Perhaps by the end of the weekend. Here we go. That's Bogrow. Let's go for... I'm going to set 250 here. So I'm going to set 245. So the magenta bug at the top of it will be at 250. And I'm going to increase our rate of descent. Roll wings level will recenter the heading bug. And it would decide to go the other way, of course it does. 16,000. We want to keep it coming down now to 8. Towers up. Ooh. LFBO ATIS. Toulouse-Blagnac information. Mike recorded at 1313 UTC. Landing runway 14 right. Takeoff runway 14 left. Expected approach ILS. Expected departures 5 Alpha, transition level 60, departure clearance must be obtained on frequency 121.9er. Departure from runway 14 right only for Airbus industry. Wind 130 degrees, 25 knots, gusting 36 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers. Clouds few 3,100 feet. Broken 12,000 feet. Temperature plus 16 degrees. 2.9 degrees. QNH 1010 and the QFE 9093 information mic. So I'm going to set this one now. Oh wow, we're already going to be near to Mutti. We need 1181 ready to go in here. This is the first time flying into this airport scenery. Toulouse traffic, Air Nostrum 14 Delta Zulu, CRJ1000 inbound on the top 26 Sierra, arrival 5 miles west of Ogril. Expecting ILS runway 14 right approach, and we'll report on downwind Toulouse traffic. $13,000. I reckon we can get to 8 there quite nicely. Put that on. That's all set. That's good. Airport elevation is set. What we got here? Oh, we're going to want some wing icing, I think, and some cowl icing. And I'm going to put the windshield heats onto high, because those cumulonimbus usually come with severe turbulence and severe icing, but we don't really have a weather radar to assist with us. Needle of the skies. Wow, what a question. Have you ever learnt anything or gained a technique in Microsoft Flight Simulator that you have applied in the real world? Yeah, you know what? Microsoft Flight Simulator, especially if you have something like the Just Flight PA28, Warrior 3 or whatever, Warrior 2 for the sim, it's incredibly realistic, and I think if you've got an aircraft like that and you're also flying it in real life via PPL, as I am, then you end up learning some particularly useful skills that are very transferable to the real world because of how good the simulator can be. What have we got here? So that range rings 20 miles. That's certainly enough for us today. God, the autopilot's a bit wild today, isn't it? Look at this. It's just decided to entirely miss Ogril. Do a direct MUT. I have no idea what it's doing. And in that crazy moment, we've descended very quickly, and I need to turn all these on. Let's keep an eye on everything that this is doing. Borja, welcome. Weather radar API being released. Oh, that's great to hear. We do need it, don't we? It will certainly unlock a lot of these add-ons. That would be the best they'll ever be then. We'll go inbound MUT. We haven't got half bank on, have we? Good. I could just say that we're avoiding that rather large cumulonimbus. Maybe that'll do. Maybe we can get away with that. Down to 5,000, which will be next. We will level off first at flight level 80. There's Toulouse through the cloud. Was there. It's a strange thing that it did here. Ollie, half banks, the higher altitudes, it will only max bank allow 15 degrees in the turn. Anyway, we've solved that. What we want to do is get onto this next little leg here because I need to check the course. We've got an aircraft on TCAS here somewhere. One, two, four, and descending. let's go on to heading mode for a second. So we'll activate heading mode. Brilliant, aircraft's frozen. There we go, we're back. We're going to flick nav source across. Block 1 hasn't actually gained anything yet, so we're going to go into radio, and we want 1107. That is active actually, 1107. So we'll have to check it again in a minute. Nav mode. We've got somebody right behind me here. I don't know. Somebody's very close. Oh, speed. Autopilot's been a bit funky, isn't it? It's kind of losing each of the waypoints and then doing some strange things at them. And then we get that really sharp angle of bank, which is just probably utterly horrendous for passengers in real life. Hello, do you mind keeping the speed? Sure. Bets, no problem at all. There is a hold at Ogril if you wanted to do one a circuit or two circuits perhaps. I've got the tower asking me to hold 250-ish knots or as fast as I can go for as long as possible, so hence we're kind of busting some of these constraints here. Until base turn. Whoa! Woohoo! So Fets, if you slow down as much as you can, let's go heading, because I've got the little needles now. So course 142, that matches. Back on to nav. In fact, from Suras, I might stay on heading mode. We'll fly on heading mode instead. Transition altitudes. 1010. Oh, and you know what? We did forget. Where's my minimums? 588. Of course it'd be that, wouldn't it? Holy moly. Start scrolling. 588. Closest to that's 590. Right, so we're going to want to now continue. Suras is coming up. Speed. Can't even put flaps out yet. Push reverses left and right armed. Everything air is set. Loose traffic. Air Nostrum 14 Delta Zulu passing Suras and changing to Toulouse Tower 118.1.
On peut peut-être aller direct, faire un direct to Lima Mike Bravo.
Vous pouvez faire la direct pour l'instant Lima Bravo Oscar, je vous vois pas et puis je vous rappelle dès que j'ai quelque chose.
Roger, c'est un 2.
Osprey 490, taxi. Well, actually, you had to vacate the left side of the runway. So I can propose you about now is to park at the street. Would you agree?
Bets, if you extend, if that's you behind.
Osprey 490. Osprey 490, off of Sierra 6.
Hey, it's David.
Yep. So you vacated the wrong side actually. Would you take the Airbus Industry parking? Seems okay for you. Which part, sir? Airbus Industries. Yeah,
so we're here. We can now flick this across to nav.
Next to left in here, it's a Whiskey 50 and
It's going to be tight.
Actually.
Now we need to reduce
Okay,
speed
well done, Whiskey
because
Flight.
we're on base.
And I guess I should have
I'd be holding at Suras. Okay, cool. VREF 138. Let's
if
make
you
a
want,
note.
you can cross the
C chord 138 plus
0 runway to reach the other side.
143.
No worries, sir. I have to log off pretty quickly anyway, so we got a bunch coming
Let's
in
set
behind us.
that.
Okay, no worries. Thank you for being up.
I'll just leave that at V1 rotate or the V1 speed because that's similar. 3000 coming up.
Blagnac Tower, good afternoon. Easy 24.
Aviator, yeah, we're using 14 right, thankfully.
To Bristol Airport. We've got information mic on board.
Okay.
T407 and Blagnac Tower start up approved. The LatinVFR Alpha departure. Runway 14 left, squawk 1000.
1010, 1010, we've got minimum set and we're bringing our speed down now. We're levelling off at 3000. Oh, look at that, beautifully green.
Runway 14 left, LACU 5 Alpha departure. Squawk 1000, what's the initial flight level, please?
French Equation Easy 247, needs level 70, read back correct?
Flight level 70 for the initial flight level, France 407, thank you.
And the 3 14 Delta is a bit back, aware?
That right, yeah. Nose attitude. Woohoo! Runway's going to be coming up, so I won't spend too much time out here getting the views. Go flaps 8. Toulouse Tower, Air Nostrum 14 Delta Zulu. Last message.
Hello, you number 1, free speed, continue 14 right.
Number 1, free speed, 14 right, and we've got information mic and Air Nostrum 14 Delta Zulu.
Thank you for keeping the speed on into the base, sir.
No problem at all.
You'll get a good stand.
So approach mode is arms. That speed bleed down a little bit here. What are we now? 11 miles.
After September, direct to Lima, Mike.
Here we go.
Bravo and at flight level 120.
Ensuite, toujours rien pour le moment.
We go gear down now. We're literally skirting, tickling above this cloud. We need to change that screen off because otherwise it will give us some problems potentially. Look at that, it's weird it's not wanting to hold the attitude particularly well. We need to try and keep 160. We'll keep the what I'm trying to say, I suppose, is it's not trying to keep the nav neat. Probably the best way of saying it.
Amsterdam 14 Delta Zulu, runway 14 right clear to land, wind 120 31 knots, vacate left right.
We land runway 14 right and vacate right after landing Air Nostrum 14 Delta Zulu.
Oh, negative, sir, vacate left side.
Vacate left side after landing Air Nostrum 14 Delta Zulu. Yeah, because otherwise we go to Airbus. Mind you, I'm sure they'll be happy to have the visitor. 8 miles. And we want 4,000 set on the box. On the glide. We'll try and keep 160 till 4 if we can. Now, I've not flown this in a while. This is where I end up finding out that I've forgotten something entirely. Here we go. Let's go full flaps. There's our sort of V2 speeds. Not that we want those, but that will do for now. We'll use that as a bit of a marker for us. 138, 143 actually, which is pretty much where we are now. It's an inconvenient time for that to freeze.
9960, Blagnac Tower, hello, coming back established, ILS 14 right.
Welcome.
Airports, charts. Vacate right, Mike 4.
And gravity 9960, do you mind proceeding into the bell spin about now? Because actually there's traffic behind you.
Thrust reversers are set, ready to go. They're all armed, they're both armed, so you can see it on the CAS here.
Say again, 9960.
What I do need to do is take power licing off though.
Very shortly to base, because there's actually a traffic behind you.
And yeah, we got the recorder on, thanks Neil.
We're on heading for base right now, gravity 9960.
Look at that, 32 knots, straight down the runway, 33 knots now. But it is variable, 32 knots. So it could snip around. So where that gets dangerous is like now. So that wind's just dropped to 26 knots, now 17. It's dropped. So it plays with our speeds. Effectively it's wind shear. Turn the autopilot off. So I'll fly this in. I'm actually having to use quite a bit of throttle here. The variable winds are making this quite interesting actually. The autopilot was doing a very good job of flying it quite nicely. And we're on the glide slope quite nicely. Speed management is the difficulty here because the wind keeps gusting 35 and then dropping off to about 24. Sniper high.
Right now, 1910.
Spark, welcome. Joining us a bronze frequent flyer. Fantastic. Welcome on board. Thanks for choosing a membership. Make sure you link your YouTube account inside Discord and it will get you access into our club lounge. Kurt, am I still enjoying the VelocityOne? Oops, that was a bad time to get distracted. We've recovered it. I mean, that should probably be a go around, but we've got it. Loving the VelocityOne, it's very good.
100, 50, 40, 30, 20.
Hold the flare. Hold the flare. Oh! We got it back, didn't we? How's that? 106 foot per minute, 0.8 G. Winds 22 knots at 123 degrees, so slight crosswind. I'm not even using any thrust reverser or brakes, to be honest. Aeroflight, if you are a content creator, you should know much better than what you're putting into the live chat at the moment. So you can get reported for sexually explicit comments.
Air Nostrum 14 Delta, Zulu, nice touchdown.
Look at that, didn't even need any of this. Aeroflight, are you Russian by any chance? Have a little look at some Western news. Assuming you're Russian by that last comment. Ollie, hello. How do you set the landing tip in the sim? I've turned everything off. So there's literally just a button inside the sim. Software tooltips. We'll have a look when we park up.
Air Nostrum 14 Delta, Zulu.
Last message.
Yep, not sure you added to characters just before. My mic 4, cross runway 14 left, call me back on ground frequency 121.9.
Cross runway 14 left and call back 121.9, Air Nostrum 14 Delta Zulu. Let's get across. Ollie, if you've not already done so, it might be worth having a little look. 121. Decimal 9. Might be worth having a little look at the tutorial video that I've done in relation to setting up landing rate monitor. Let's turn left, right, landing lights off, strobes can go off now, APU can go on. Toulouse Tower, hello again, Air Nostrum 14 Delta Zulu vacated 14 left.
3 station and a call at the same time. Nostrum 14 Delta Zulu, first left into Papa, all short Papa 50.
Left Papa, hold short Papa 50, Air Nostrum 14 Delta Zulu.
Gravity 9960, hello, show wind 120 degrees T1 knots, runway 14 right, clear to land.
Look at this. How have I never flown here before? Jeff, very nice actually, yeah, very good. Aviation simulation, hello. Look at this scenery.
Not for the moment.
So we've got split frequencies, which is a little confusing. Eunice, hello to you, welcome. Let's get rid of that flight director as well. Hold short pap.
14 Delta Zulu, enter Tango 60, stand uniform 10.
Enter Tango 60, stand uniform 10, Air Nostrum 14 Delta Zulu, thanks for the ATC. Tango 50, holy crap, this is interesting. Papa 50, Tango 60 is the next one, and then we need parking stands. Have I got those ready?
From 44, low number 2, reduce final approach speed, late landing clearance.
Oh, look at that windsock. Pretty much horizontal.
Continue approach 148, reduce final approach speed, late landing clearance.
We'll have a look around in the scenery as well, because it's quite vast. And of course this is the home of Airbus.
7, runway 14 left, intersection November 8, line up and wait.
Tango 60, uniform 10, which is going to be, oops, another sharp left. And we will get rid of that one, and we'll get rid of that one. APU's available. 20, 20 jumps then to 12, 11 and 10, which is going to be there somewhere along that boarding. This is a huge bit of scenery. Flightbeam Studios, you can get it on Contrail as well if you want to purchase this. This is the first time I've seen this scenery. It's been out for a little while now.
Station calling, the call sign.
Oh, yo, nice. I'll have a little look at Volanta in a second.
Uh, 712 for the moment. I don't have one to give you. As soon as we land to my place, I will advise you. Easy 2407, 114 left, cleared for takeoff, wind 120 degrees, 21 knots.
Great temperatures are 0 because I've barely used them. Didn't even use them on the touchdown either, I just allowed friction to do its work. Look at that.
Air Nostrum 44, runway 14 right, clear to land, wind 120 degrees, 21 knots, traffic departing parallel runway. In case of missed approach, climb and maintain 2,000 feet.
Car brake on. Let's try and catch. Ooh, that's close. Look at that. Oh, right on the dot as well. Happy days. Pleased with that. Ashley, hello. Let's head up here. We can try and catch that EasyJet taking off. Oh, there he goes. Off to Bristol, I think, wasn't he? Not now. What a terrible time to stay safe. And he's gone. And we've got the Air Nostrum over here as well. That's touching down. There he is. He's already down.
Do it on your way, sir. For the moment, you didn't survey. Just call me back to establish 148.
Like a pro.
Yep, not worry, sir. Call me back, established runway 148.
Oh, look what I've just found. Those of you who use Volanta.
Easy 2407, identified 122, goodbye.
Zoom zoom. Found a Volanta Aero cache. I don't know if you I think you're supposed to park in them, aren't you? You can't just go into it like this. Effectively, oh, that's because that's the delivery centre, isn't it? If you park there, you will get something on Volanta. Japan Airways, Japan Airlines A350, the new BA Airbus there as well. Still with French reg. Wow.
Well, you should have vacated on the left side anyway. Would you mind to park on the Airbus Industries parking? Okay, so well, taxi left to Whiskey and you can park over here.
This is huge.
Agent 317, runway.
Cathay A350, Vietnam. We've got Air Portugal A330 Neo as well. Is that the headwind one? Terrible joke. Delta's A330 Neo as well, and a couple of short haul Lufthansa A320 and a, what's that there? W. I'm gonna say whoosh, but I have absolutely no idea. Not Windrose. 8 Bali. This is the Flightbeam Studios. Toulouse-Blagnac, West Air, China. Oh, they've got a long delivery flight ahead of them. Oh my god, look at the size of this. This is mega. This is fantastic. I need to fly here more often, I think. What we got here? Is that an A380? No, it's an A330 in the paint shop. Still with primer. And the main Airbus facility. Look at this. Let's turn the speed up. Looks like there's a lot of places to explore here. China, Garuda, a couple of little ATRs. Very cool. Anyone know what that airline is? I have absolutely no idea myself. Air Asia over there as well. Is that Wamos? I think that's Wamos. There's another West Air. .cn. It's so vast, isn't it? Look at this. This is just the Airbus delivery side as well. 8 Bali, no, these are all part of the scenery. This is all on the Airbus production side of Toulouse. They're all static. I guess they've put it in because it is the Airbus facility, so they kind of want it all in here. Faroe Airlines spotted as well. Nice to see the Airbus delivery centre in there as well. Someone was asking me earlier, just as I was trying to sort of land, what my thoughts still are for the Boeing and an Airbus Centre. Oh. What my thoughts are with the VelocityOne yoke and throttle that I've been using by TurtleBeach. I still absolutely love it. It's incredibly good. A lot of flexibility with it, so you can use it on lots of various airlines, or aircraft I should say. But yeah, really very nice indeed. And I think it's £350 total price, and you get a lot with the TurtleBeach VelocityOne yoke. It's just been updated as well, so now the SIP panel, which is the bit behind the yoke that says landing gear and things, apparently is they've actually activated it now, so it can start working. Let's bring this down here so we can drop the speed off.
And Agent 317, do you have a specific step?
Stubacher, has that got an interior? No. Stubacher's been having issues with his VelocityOne yoke. Reverse thrust issues. What have you got it set to, out of curiosity? Look at this. Remarkable level of detail in this terminal building. Must have taken hours to get that mesh, like the mesh sorted out there. What we got here? It's got to be a hotel of some sort. Absolutely, yeah. I'm not a fan of statics, but an airport like this definitely needs it. Yeah, it's the NH. And here's the front, the landside area of Toulouse-Blagnac. Very cool. Never been here in real life. Would love to go and see the Airbus delivery centre and things. You can go on an Airbus tour, I think, can't you? Look at that. Take a picture of that and think it's all legit. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, the Aerosoft Paderborn is freeware. Really nice bit of freeware as well from the Aerosoft team. And here we are. Stubacher, have you not tried to set them using your throttle, the reverse thrust? That's what I've got them on. The detents at the bottom of the throttle kind of clicks into a gate. It just keeps going on. There's more and more to explore all the time. Here's the Air Algérie. Okay, right. Who wants to see a replay of our touchdown? Because I've left all the engines running. What I can do as well.
Yep, sir. So
1, 2, 3. Go full flaps.
And 712 squawk 1000. Coming back establish 148.
Who's this flying? In.
And again, your call sign. Yep, but the 3 days before.
Awesome. None of our lot.
Okay.
So what we'll do? Kuwait Airport and City is amazing, incredible. Let's disconnect from ATC. Thanks to our controller. We'll reconnect as an observer, so we're invisible, so we can still hear him talking and things, but we're pretty much invisible on his radar. But if we transmit, we're still audible, so we have to be careful there. And then we will hit the replay button. What do we want, folks? Do we want outer views like this? Or do we want the wing views? Got to be the wing views, right?
Have a good day, sir.
Delta Tango, do I have to re-sign the config file if I buy Heathrow scenery? So I've uninstalled it through the content manager, the Sobo's Premium Deluxe Heathrow. But then what I've done as well is gone into the file inside the sim and I've turned it to false. Egg Barley wants the outer view. Rightio, we should do both. Fun fact, the wind at 2,000 feet is usually very different to the wind on the ground at surface level. I'll say very different, usually about 30 degrees different potentially. The surface wind, 2,000 feet above, you can probably expect it to be 20 to 30 degrees further to the right in a clockwise direction around the compass. In the I think in the northern hemisphere, but probably works in the southern hemisphere as well, just as much. And about usually potentially double the speed too. Wowzers, that was a really gnarly bit there, wasn't it? Cheetah Pal, not sure why my AIG manager's not opening, maybe it's down now. What version have you got and when did you last actually update the AIG manager? You've got to make sure you run it in administrator mode as well, that's one of the requirements they set, isn't it? Let's see, let's start to manoeuvre around. The whole time on this bit of approach I was up and down with the throttle, trying to hold our particular speed that we wanted to set, which was 143 knots. 100 likes, thank you very much guys, really appreciate it. Wow. That's probably the messiest looking approach I've ever done. Look at that. Bounce, bounce, bounce. And we will configure round for the touchdown. For that butter. Oh, look at that. That was silky smooth. That made it. Oh, there's a beluga. How did I not see that before? That made up for the fairly rough approach. Actually, yeah, auto throttle's easy though. This is part of the fun, isn't it? And of course, we had landing lights and things on, but Sky Dolly doesn't recognise those. Makes you feel sick. Right, let's reset and we'll get a cabin view, shall we? Let's see. Yoink. Oops, too many yoinks. There we go. Yes.
Don't sink. 1,000.
We're going to get lots of don't sink noises now. That's just another one of the sort of bugs with this replay functionality.
Don't sink.
Hopefully it looks smoother inside the cabin view.
Sink. Don't sink.
Function Tango Echo 713, runway 14 right, clear to land with 130 degrees to tail.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
Actually, I bet the Unibuild's Beluga's pretty fun, yeah.
Don't sink.
Unibuilds are creating A310, I think, isn't it, for Microsoft Flight Simulator? hopefully that'll be coming soon. And if you haven't already had a look on some of the development updates for the Bluebird simulations, Boeing 757, 200 and 300 variants that they're creating for Microsoft Flight Simulator, I can highly recommend having a look at that. It is incredibly good. It looks fantastic, and this is early work in progress, like a dev update that they provided. I think potentially on the Just Flight website. I can't remember. We were chatting about it in the MSFS add-ons section of our Discord server the other day. That's one aircraft I really, really, really want inside MSFS. There's a couple of Airbus over there with primer. Even more to explore. Look on the scenery. Goes on and on and on.
Don't sink. 100. Don't sink. 50. 40. 30. 20. Don't sink. 10.
There you go, Andy. You wouldn't even know you've touched down. Interestingly, this time it's not deflected the spoilers, is it? There we go. Oh, now it has. Andy used to be a regular passenger on these between Birmingham and Hanover. Great, but don't sit in the back when British Av keeps at the controls. Thank you very much. You know, usually I'm a lot smoother. It's been a long time since we've been in the CRJ1000. Hey, we smoothed it out at the end for a nice little touchdown. I blame the conditions. There we go. We vacate off the runway and we'll go and park up, but we shall end the stream there. Might as well. We've lost John to the WASM module crash, and a couple of other folks have vacated right onto the Airbus facility. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream from Madrid to this amazing Flightbeam Studios, Toulouse. The one thing that we do need to do before we head off is show Ollie, where is it? Software tooltips. So, vacate. And then we'll go on to general options. In fact, it's not in general options, is it? It's in assistance options. And then you go to notification, software tips on. There you go. And then things like the landing rate monitor and things like that will be able to then feed those pop-ups onto the screen when you touch down. Stu back, enjoy the next 6 hours of your flight. Wow, Yoep, minus 54 foot per minute into Paderborn. That's fantastic. With a teardrop approach. Lovely. Look at that. Check you out. Fantastic work. Andy, great to hear. Thank you very much. I will do better next time. Thanks to our controller into Toulouse as well. Really appreciate you connecting and giving us a bit of immersive ATC for our arrival. And if you want to get hold of this scenery or the LatinVFR's fantastic Madrid that we departed out of for MSFS, then head to contrail.shop and have a little look, and you'll be able to download it all through there. I'm off to work in about an hour, 2 hours in fact, for a night shift, 12-hour night shift. Quite grueling, but hopefully you guys have enjoyed today's live stream. I'm going to get to work now, updating my VMR file, and I'll try and get it put onto flightsim.to in the next sort of hour and a bit, and I'll try my hardest as well, Ollie, at getting the A330 custom camera configurations set as well. I'll get them into the package, the zip folder that I've got for my British Avgeek custom camera files on flightsim.to, and I'll try and get that uploaded if I've got time as well. Next live stream is going to be on the Bank Holiday Friday. I think it is. I think it's Bank Holiday Friday for those of us in the UK. So keep an eye out for that. Still yet to be decided what it's going to be, but it's either going to be the BA146, so the Just Flight beta preview, the pre-release preview, or the Headwind A330, or perhaps something else. Who knows? But yeah. In the meantime, thanks everybody for watching. Thank you to Ollie for your little tip earlier on as well. Really generous of you to donate to support the channel, and Spark for becoming a channel member as well.
Do you mind parking in the Airbus industry?
Thanks for
parking?
watching. Enjoy the rest of the week, and I hope to see you all tune in on Friday.
Something like that.
Hit subscribe if you've not done so already. Hit like, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.
Roger.
Take
so
care.
First right, whiskey, enter Sierra 60.